Welcome to my Toolbox Tour. This is a snap-on KRL1232 top box, KRL1032 bottom, and a KRC326 cart. I like to do fabrication work. It's nice to have bolts for fixturing or setup. I love these old style Stanley lever lock tape measures. Separate screwdrivers for clean work. Ppe Socket Organizers. The Imperial 400F flaring tool. Highly recommend it. I think it's the best handheld 37-degree flaring tool. I've got the master tool set as well in this respect. Automotive specialty stuff. I'm just a hobbyist, but I do a little of everything. Homebrew, new speed 8-valve cam gear. Lots of Volkswagen stuff, suspension. I like to organize my taps with the drill and the tap in a little container, so it's ready to go. I got the idea for these from a thread on the Race Desert forums years ago. A poster by the name of Dump did a toolbox tour. If you've never seen it and you like tools, I highly recommend it. Made these little handheld deburring tools. I've got a 60-degree and a 90-degree carbide burr. Great for deburring small holes. Micro stops, 82, 90, 100-degree countersinks, some old school tap and die sets from my grandfather. Bought these at a flea market thinking I would love them, flexible nut drivers, never used them. This style's good for square end. They spin a little bit easier, they're more balanced. I have the ball end in this style. They're not balanced, but they're great for access. You can't spin them fast or they'll fly out of your hand. Red bins are from Schaller Corporation. They sell them individually. I love them. They don't make all the different sizes and all the different heights. You can see some of them are a little bit white around the outside because I trimmed them. These are only available in 2-inch thick, and the 1-inch thick are required for this drawer. Modify them all. I cut them up, plastic weld them together to make these super long ones. markers, junky set of calipers for fabrication work. These I inherited from my grandfather. 200 thou per rev, which I don't prefer, but they're cool. Trammels, profile gauges, chill plates for small weldments, sheet metal stuff. All right, the big drawer. Sockets, ratchets, extensions. Fractional on the left, metric on the right. All the major tool brands in here. A lot of Snap-on, Craftsman, SK, Proto, Wright, Mac, Matco, Armstrong, Vim. It's all in here. Nipros, these are like jewelry. Use a lot of Westling machine trays. I modify them. This one is in the same style. I made it with just a plate of 1/4-inch aluminum, reamed in a bunch of holes and pressed in some steel dowels. I like the Hansen racks. I'm not afraid to modify them. I really only use 8 to 19 in metric 3/8 drive, so I chopped off the ends, so I'm not buying sockets I'll never use. Same with the longer 1/2-inch drive, I cut them off at 24. A few of the Snap-on trays. These are Icon, good enough for e-Torques. Almost all Snap-on ratchets, except this guy. Love this little guy. Torques, e-Torques, long Torques. Wrenches. Fractional on the left, e-Torques in the back, metric on the right. Same as the sockets, a lot of Snap-on, Craftsman, SK, Gear Wrench, all the major brands represented. Blue Point. These deep offsets, highly recommend these. Couple extra 10 millimeters, just in case. Files, I have them separated by material. These are for stainless, aluminum, mild steel. The holders are made out of the same material just to prevent cross-contamination when welding. It's not a big deal, but why not? Hammers, punches, old school Craftsman Professional from my grandfather. Love the organizers. Hammer drawer, standard stuff. I made this organizer a few years ago. The Snap-on makes one, but it was out of stock at the time and a couple $100. I prefer the drills to be lengthwise instead of side to side, so made this up from 22 gauge stainless, folded it up, bought the holsters from Snap-on. A couple different sizes, some quick access bits. Mixture of colors and brands. This is great for auto body work. This one doesn't have a brand. I think it's Lyle. the Mayhew Dominators, or this weld whacker they call these. They're beefy, but they don't fit between thin panels. These are all the vertical style plier racks. These are all Snap-on branded. I bought them before Ernst and all the copies came out. I think Ernst is the manufacturer, and then a lot of cheapo copies. But I like this style. The snips are in a custom version of that I made from stainless that are a little wider because the grips don't fit in the standard 1-inch. All the brands in here as well. Body hammers. I could talk for an hour on this drawer. This is all of them. A couple rare ones, a couple custom ones, mostly Snap-on and Blue Point, a couple modified ones. Trusty Cook. Most of these are cheap Harbor Freight. A couple good ones. If you do any metal fabrication work, highly recommend the Dynafile. These are both Dynabraid 4320s, I think. One's newer, one's older. Great fabrication tools. This is no longer in production, but one of my favorites. Really smooth. Corded and cordless tools. I like Makita grinders, Milwaukee drills, some 3/4 drive stuff, Rachaline shrinking disc, Dynabraid DA, cart, some toolbox widgets, always reorganizing. Mostly auto body stuff. Rivets, Clecos. Tapes. Spray guns. Respirators. May have noticed I didn't have clamps in there. I have them on the rack out here. Some Blue Point, which are made by Grip-On, some Napa brand, some Vice Grip brand, some Harbor Freight, a little bit of everything. A little Craftsman box. This is all consumables. That's where I keep all my parts and hardware primarily, but some automotive case tools. Master Cool hydraulic set. It's a Lancaster shrinker in there. Kramer bead forming tool, great for custom pipe work. Big guys. Go see the machinist tools. I made the handrail. That was one of my recent fabrication projects. The machine shop standard woodworking construction contractor type stuff. Rack of tools for the mill, lathe. This little Craftsman box. I inherited the box from my grandfather, filled it up with all sorts of stuff. T-handles are great for this type of work. These are all square end. I keep my taps and drills in a little bit different system down here because I have multiples of the same bottoming tap, plug taps, taper taps, couple different drills. Generally I have coated and uncoated PPE. I don't really use these, but they're all inherited from both of my grandfathers, so I keep them. Prefer Mitutoyo calipers, non-digital. I like them that way. Stare at mics, it's what I learned on, so that's what I prefer. Toolbox widgets. More of the custom deburring tools. Files. Craftsman professional wrenches. Got most of those when I was 16. Mostly fractional sockets for clamps, fixtures. This is overflow and organizers and junk. It's a Bridgeport boring head in there. A couple DeWalt's. And that's it. Thank you.